A sound cracks behind you. Your shoulders jump. Your hands fly up before your mind even knows what happened. You flinched. You didn't choose to. You didn't have time to choose. Whatever scared you hadn't even reached your conscious mind yet, and your body had already reacted. You probably think this is fear. It isn't. The real answer is far stranger than fear, and it has nothing to do with the part of your brain that thinks. Somewhere behind your eyes, just above your jaw, sits a structure the size of an almond. Two of them, actually, one on each side. Neuroscientists call them the amygdala. You can think of them as a smoke detector wired directly into your spine. A smoke detector doesn't ask whether the smoke is from a fire or from burnt toast. It just screams. Your amygdala works the same way. It doesn't wait for proof. It reacts to a pattern that resembles danger, and it reacts before the rest of your brain has even finished processing what your eyes saw. This is why you flinch before you see what scared you. The neuroscientist Joseph Ledoux spent decades mapping exactly how this happens. He found that visual and auditory information entering your brain splits into two separate paths. One path is slow. It travels up to your cortex, the thinking layer, where the image gets identified, labeled, understood. That path takes time. The other path is fast. It skips the thinking layer entirely and goes straight to the amygdala. Ledoux called these the low road and the high road. The low road is dumb, in the most useful way possible. It can't tell a garden hose from a snake. It can't tell a falling branch from an attacker. But it doesn't need to. Its only job is speed. By the time your high road, your conscious thinking brain, finishes asking, wait, what was that? Your low road has already told your muscles to move. Your body responded to a shape, a shadow, a sudden motion, long before your mind had a name for any of it. Why would evolution build a system this sloppy? Because for most of human history, the cost of being wrong was wildly uneven. If you mistake a stick for a snake and jump back, you lose nothing. A half second of embarrassment, maybe. But if you mistake a snake for a stick and don't jump back, you might lose your life. Natural selection doesn't reward accuracy. It rewards survival. And a brain that overreacts to danger survives more often than a brain that calmly waits for confirmation. This asymmetry shaped you long before you were born. The physiologist Walter Cannon was the first to describe what happens next, almost a century ago. He called it the fight or flight response. The moment your amygdala sounds the alarm, it signals your hypothalamus, which fires up your sympathetic nervous system. Your adrenal glands dump adrenaline into your bloodstream. Your heart rate spikes, your pupils widen, blood drains from your stomach and floods into your limbs, because digesting lunch is not useful when you might need to run. All of this happens in a fraction of a second. All of this happens before you've decided anything at all. Have you ever noticed that you can't talk yourself out of a flinch? You can know, logically, that the noise was just a door slamming. You can know there's no danger, and your body still jumps anyway. That's because the low road doesn't report to your logic. It reports to your reflexes. Knowing something intellectually and feeling safe are two completely different systems, running on two completely different timelines. This is also why a horror movie works on you even when you know it's fake. Your cortex understands you're sitting on a couch. Your amygdala does not care. The psychologist Robert Sapolsky, who spent years studying stress in primates, found something even stranger. The baboons he studied in Kenya didn't just react to real threats. Their stress systems fired constantly in response to imagined ones, to social tension, to uncertainty, to things that hadn't happened yet and might never happen. Sapolsky's point was simple and unsettling. Humans inherited a threat detection system built for lions and cliffs, and we now run it on emails, deadlines, and group chats. Your amygdala doesn't know the difference between a predator and a notification. So when your phone buzzes during an important meeting and your stomach drops before you've even looked at the screen, that's the same low road, the same ancient circuit. It's reacting to a sound the way your ancestors reacted to a snapping twig in the grass. You are running 600,000-year-old hardware on a modern operating system, and most of the glitches you blame on anxiety are really just outdated alarms going off at the wrong targets. Here's what makes this even stranger. The startle reflex itself, the actual physical flinch, is nearly identical across cultures, across ages, even across species. A loud noise will make a newborn baby's arm snap outward in what's called the Moro reflex, the same basic architecture that makes an adult duck at a car backfiring. You were born already wired to do this. No one taught you. So if you've ever felt embarrassed about jumping at something small, a balloon popping, someone tapping your shoulder, a door creaking, consider this. You weren't being weak. You were being fast. Your ancestors who flinched first asked questions later, and the ones who didn't often didn't get a later. There's a quieter consequence to all of this, one most people never think about. Because your fast system reacts before your slow system understands, you often feel fear before you have a reason for it. People sometimes interpret this as intuition, as a sixth sense, as somehow knowing danger was coming. But there's a simpler explanation. Your amygdala may have picked up on something, a posture, a tone of voice, a flicker of motion, microseconds before your conscious mind caught up. The feeling arrived first because the detection arrived first. The story you tell afterward, about a gut feeling, is your slow brain trying to explain what your fast brain already handled. You are, in a very real sense, often the last person in the room to learn what your own body has decided. This doesn't mean you're powerless. The same researchers who mapped this fast circuit also found that your high road, your thinking brain, can train the low road over time. Repeated exposure to a feared stimulus in safe and controlled doses slowly recalibrates what your amygdala treats as dangerous. This is the basic science behind exposure therapy. It's also why the first time you ride a roller coaster, your whole body screams, and by the fifth time, your low road has quietly updated its threat assessment and you're laughing instead of gripping the bar. Your fear system isn't fixed. It's just fast. So the next time something makes you jump before you understand why, don't be embarrassed by it. You're not broken, and you're not overreacting. You're running a survival circuit built across hundreds of thousands of years, refined by every ancestor who lived long enough to pass down the wiring. The smoke detector going off at burnt toast is the same smoke detector that once saved a life in the dark. A sound cracks behind you. Your shoulders jump. And for the first time, you understand exactly why.